Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to crack open some ancient secrets to solve a really modern problem, a bank account that's always running on empty. And we'll be using wisdom from one of the greatest financial stories ever told.
So let's start in ancient Babylon. Picture this, a city literally swimming in gold, just unbelievably wealthy. And yet, the ruler, King Sargon, he looks around and realizes most of his people are broke. So he asks his chancellor a question that, let's be honest, we're still asking today. And the king's chancellor had a simple, kind of brutal answer. The rich get richer because, well, they know how. You can't just take money from people who know how to manage it, give it to people who don't, and expect anything to change. So the king had an idea. He summoned the richest man in the city, Arkad, to teach everyone else the rules of the game.
So Arkad gets up in front of 100 regular citizens and lays out 7 really practical steps. His whole point was that having an empty wallet isn't an income problem. No, it's a habit problem. And the great thing about that? It's a problem that anybody, and I mean anybody, can solve. Okay, let's dive into the first rule, which is by far the most important. Arkad called it starting thy purse to fattening. You can think of this as the bedrock, the foundation that everything else is built on.
In this first cure, it really boils down to just one powerful number. The rule is simple and it's non-negotiable. For every 10 coins or dollars you get your hands on, one of them has to be put aside for you.
Arkad had this great analogy. He said, look, if you put 10 eggs in a basket every single morning, but you only ever take 9 out, what's going to happen? Eventually, that basket is going to overflow. The point here isn't about restriction, it's about creating a system. And this is, without a doubt, the most critical habit you have to build.
Of course, the first thing people say is, but I can't possibly afford to save 10%. And you know what? Arkad knew that thousands of years ago. He understood that our spending just has this magical way of expanding to eat up whatever we make. We call it Parkinson's Law now. But he argued that if you just act like that 10% isn't even there, your lifestyle will adjust. And in a few months, you won't even miss it.
This flows right into the second cure. You have to control your spending. And that means you've got to separate your real, true needs from your wants. Arkad called our endless wants weeds in a garden. You know, the kind that will grow anywhere there's space and choke out all the good stuff. You have to get ruthless about telling the difference between what you need and what you just want.
So how do you do that? With a budget. But Arkad taught that a budget is not a prison. It's not there to make you miserable. It's a tool for freedom. Think of it like a flashlight in a dark cave that shows you exactly where your money's going. It exposes all the little leaks in your purse so you can plug them up and make sure your real needs are always covered.
So, what happens next? Once you start saving and get your spending under control, you've actually created some capital. And the third cure is all about putting that capital to work for you. Because, as Arkad said, gold just sitting in a purse, it doesn't earn a thing. Arkad explained the magic of compound interest with this amazing metaphor of golden slaves. Every single dollar you save is a worker. Every bit of interest it earns is its child. And this is the crucial part. Those children have to be put to work for you too. That's how you build a whole army of income that flows to you whether you're working, traveling, or even sleeping.
But as your wealth starts to grow, so do the risks. And Arkad's fourth cure is a very, very strict warning. He says, misfortune loves a shining mark. The minute you have some money, everyone is going to have a great opportunity for you. His rule is simple. Protect your initial investment, your principal, above everything else. And how do you protect it? By only getting advice from experts. Arkad warns you not to take financial advice from a brickmaker about jewels. What's the modern version of that? Don't pour your life savings into some meme coin because of a tip from a random person on the internet. No, you seek out people who have a long, successful track record with the very thing you're trying to do.
So those first 4 cures, they build your foundation. These last 3, they're all about playing the long game. This isn't just about getting wealthy. It's about building a financial fortress that's going to last you a lifetime and maybe even beyond.
Arkad's 5th cure was just incredibly practical. Make your home a profitable investment. Now, I know the whole rent versus buy debate is complicated today, but his main point was about stability. He argued that owning a home gives you security, and it drastically cuts your living costs down the road, giving you this real sense of confidence.
Next, he told everyone to prepare for a time when they can't work anymore. He said, the life of every man proceedeth from his childhood to his old age. You have to prepare for your future self. That means making long-term investments. And this is really amazing. He even came up with an idea that sounds a whole lot like modern life insurance to protect your family.
And that leads us to the seventh and final cure. Actively increase your ability to earn. Arcad taught that wealth isn't just about saving and investing. It's also about making the river of income that flows to you even wider. The person who is constantly improving their skills, mastering their craft, and just becoming more valuable, well, that's the person who's always going to be able to earn more.
So there you have it, the 7 cures for a lean purse. 7 timeless, practical rules for completely changing your financial life that are just as true today as they were back in ancient Babylon. From saving that very first 10% to always investing in yourself, this is the entire roadmap.
Arcad's final message to his students was all about empowerment. He didn't see wealth as some privilege for a lucky few. He framed it as a right that belongs to anyone who understands and actually follows the rules. The opportunity is there for all of us.
But that brings up a huge question, right? Is just following the rules enough? What about luck? Does it play a bigger role than we think? Or is it possible, as the Babylonians believed, that you can actually attract good fortune? We're going to explore exactly that in our next explainer.